Welcome to episode 142 of the Inside Byte. I'm your host, Tim Schaefer. I'm here with my co-host, Rudy. How you doing this week?
Hey, Tim. I'm doing great. Feeling good. Counting down the days till I can have freedom again in the summer. Also, it's really just crappy weather over here, and I'm really tired of it. Like, we had a week of nice weather, and now it's back to raining all day and being cold.
It's raining here and has been for like days.
It's freaking annoying. I'm so over it. As you know, I got this new car for the last few months. I love driving that thing. I've not gotten tired at all of driving it. Now I'm just looking forward to driving it when it's nice and warm out, put the top down. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to those days. But yeah, man. Otherwise, everything's cool.
Okay. Before we started the show, you were saying you had an idea of something you wanted to do to start the show off. What's that?
All right, so we were going to do a little Would You Rather game, and I said if you are an old fan of our show, some of the ones we used to do in the past were really out there, kind of crazy. These ones are pretty simple, straightforward, right? So here's the first one. It said, die in 10 years, but happy and with people, or die in 50 years alone and unhappy. Now, I just have a question of how we're going to look at this. Is this you die in 50 years alone and you're unhappy for all 50 of those years? Or are we just saying you end up there alone and unhappy? I feel like that's important.
I feel either way, knowing myself, I would just still live the 50 years unhappy than die in 10. I just don't think I could come to terms with knowing I'm going to die in 10 years, regardless of how happy I'm going to be, because I can't even imagine me even being happy knowing I'm going to die in 10 years, first of all.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Let's see if everyone agrees with us.
But yeah.
Oh, no, actually, we're on the minority side. 21% only agree with us. Okay. I feel like this one is so easy for us, but I feel like this is more a girly thing. But be known for your intelligence or be known for your beauty.
Yeah, I'm picking intelligence.
Yeah, I'm picking intelligence.
But yeah, that's
any guess on the percentage?
Thing. 60 caring about beauty.
Actually, it was 71 intelligence.
Okay.
Flip. Yep.
Okay.
Have your home infested with rats or have your home infested with snakes?
Snakes.
I can't do the rats. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
snakes.
I have to go snakes.
Like, I feel I can genuinely kill a snake. You know how hard it is to kill a rat?
I know. Oh, here, I can just share this so you can see it in real time. Now this works now. Okay. Okay. Be forced to dance every time you hear music, or be forced to sing along any song you hear. Hold on. I feel like I'd rather sing the song. Maybe I don't want to start dancing every time you hear music.
What is it?
Be forced to dance every time you hear music, or be forced to sing along to any song you hear.
I guess dance.
Okay, let me go dance. Let's see. Dance was 35% only.
Okay.
All right. Redo your life from the start with all of your current memories, or get a completely new life with no memories. I feel like if I had a new life with no memories,
what's the first part?
Redo your life from the start with your current memories.
Yeah, that sounds way better. It's like a win-win. Wasn't that the same thing? But it's just asking, it's like, do you want your memories? Do you not want your memories?
Already, and I'd have no idea because I don't have memories.
Yeah.
I'd definitely go with the redo your life. But how would that work? You're a baby and you know everything you know. It says 77%. Everyone agrees.
Yeah.
All right. Double your intelligence, double your attractiveness. Well, honestly,
that I may pick attractiveness because I could actually I could use it to my advantage for different things that I would try to get done.
Right. And also the way I'm looking at it is
I'm thinking opportunities, money, success, that would play a big role there.
I'm also thinking too that unless you look like a troll and people point at you and laugh every day, it's okay. I can stay where I'm at and just get sorry, I said that wrong. Unless you're so incredibly dumb, I feel like I'm already intelligent enough to go for the attractiveness, an average intelligence. That's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah. Who is me with double my intelligence? That's actually pretty wild. I mean, maybe I would pick that, right? What could I get accomplished with double? I mean, here's the thing is I don't even believe in intelligence is the thing. I think it all matters of I don't know, different experiences and how you take from it, and passions and what you care about and not care about. I always thought that way. I'm always I don't know. You could not. I don't care about so many different things, so I don't know anything about them. If I cared about them, I would know about it. I don't think that's a matter of an intelligence. That's just a matter of me caring about certain things.
Yep. No, I totally agree with you. All right, let's do a few more of these. So we'll do double retractiveness.
How do you do that when it comes to like teaching? Like, do you genuinely believe that? So like when it comes to these kids, like you know, like if you think that like, okay, fifth grader, he's super struggling. You think if he genuinely cared a little more, you think his grades would rise by that alone?
I think that most times with kids, yes. Do you have kids that just seem to understand things easier than others? Of course. But do I think at the same time the kid who struggles more, if they worked a little harder and put more effort in, would they be able to get maybe a bump up? Yeah, I think honestly, I know people who are not even that smart, but they do really well because they just put in the work. I think
Yeah.
that's a real thing. I don't think it always comes down to. I like you say. I think the intelligence is just part of it. It's not everything.
Yeah, maybe
So
it's not like 100 or 0. Maybe maybe I'm not saying that it doesn't play factor at all, but
right.
I feel it would play a bigger factor than just genetics. Like you caring about something is going to play a way bigger role than a way of genetic cards handed to you.
Yeah. Nope. I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do a few more. Ready? Own a private island or own a private jet?
Actually, that's a good question.
That's a tough one because
okay, if I have unlimited fuel, let's just play in pretend land there, right?
Sure.
Let's not get too in the weeds there, but we could just basically get in a jet and fly wherever we want. Okay, it's that, or you just have like an island. Now, obviously, depending on the size of the island, but let's just try to be an average island or whatever. Like, I don't know what even is an average. I mean,
I have no idea.
Yeah, but if it's like if it's like the Philippines, the size of a country,
yeah,
or a jet.
I think they probably mean smaller than that. I think they mean like, one of those islands.
Let's say like
you stop on a cruise.
Let's say like a city size.
Okay,
and not like a big city, just normal ass city, just normal
right.
city size. That's the size of the island. Or you can have a jet. You can just fly wherever you want any moment. Obviously, you could fly the jet. You have unlimited fuel. Whatever. Now, where you land in this jet is the thing. We're in pretend land, so the government's not gonna get mad at you or anything. Whatever. but it's not like you can just fly a jet anywhere. I mean, you have very particular spots you can only land.
It's very regulated, yeah.
But even without some weird regulations, I don't even know where you could land this jet.
I think I'm leaning more towards the island.
But the problem with the island, you have to have way more assumptions for it to even work in your favor. Just because you have the island, what are you going to do with this island? Let's say you're making the money that you're making right now, and you're going to have this island. It's not like you can just throw a mansion on that island. You're not going to have the money.
Yeah, you're right. You both of these require a little extra, I'd say. If you could have the money to fill the island with a bunch of fun things to do and infrastructure and everything. Okay, yeah. Same with Jet, yeah. But otherwise, okay, let's just see.
I guess
67 island.
I'm gonna say Jet if we're just in fantasy land and everything's like I just think it'd be cool because you could just travel anywhere around the whole world instead of just being stuck to just an island. And I don't know, I think it'd be neat to easily be able to experience different cultures.
Sure.
That's with the whole assumption that any country you just flew into didn't care if you landed there. That would never happen. They wouldn't allow you to just land there. But neither would this island that you're supposed to just have infinite money to just dump into whatever resources you can.
Right. All right. Here's the last one. Ready?
All right.
Last one. Have a bad body odor constantly, or have bad breath constantly. So let's flesh this one out a little bit. We're talking about
breath.
Yeah, I'd rather do breath too, because I was gonna say we're talking about.
I'll close my mouth, dude, if I have
to. I walk in your room, I sit on your bed, I get up, and there's a stench left behind. Like I'm in the room, you smell me. Bad breath. Maybe you're about, I don't know, let's say a foot away, and you can smell as I talk, and it smells horrible. So again, I agree with you. We can contain one a little more than the other.
Because even when it comes to like at any level, whether it's like hanging out with friends, if you just reek, right, nobody's even going to want to be near you. Much less like any sort of relationship that you would want to be in, yeah, I could see like breath being a problem. But if your whole body reeks, that's going to be a way bigger issue than just your breath. So yeah.
All right, cool. Little get the brain pumping there a little bit.
yeah. I guess we'll just start, since all we're going to talk about is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth outside of, you played that Stellar Blade demo. I have not, and I do want to talk about that. I
can mention that quickly. Yeah, I can mention just if we want at the top.
But let's just start with what we're watching, what we're playing, and start there.
All right, so I will say I was pleasantly surprised by the Stellar Blade demo. I thought that I would like it. I didn't think that I would love it and immediately pre-order it. Like, I am 100% on board with this game. So let's start with like the surface level things that people, obviously you play the game as this very attractive girl doing all these crazy cool, sword moves and abilities. It's already a cool game to watch, right? It's like a spectacle like Bayonetta was. That's the first thing I noticed about that I like. The second thing is the music is fantastic. And I promise you that this is not just my brain remembering Nier, but it really has a lot of music that makes me think of Nier. It sounds similar,
even
not in a bad way,
because I think it looks that way in level design and characters and all that. But even music, okay.
Oh, 100%. And definitely it's not in a bad way saying like, oh, they're copying it. It's not that. It just reminds me. It's a similar vibe, And it's really, really good. Very enjoyable. And they do it well where it's like you have the chill music when you're in like the save zone. Then you have this more upbeat music when you're fighting. So those two things are great, but again, not the most important. Most important, the combat is excellent in this game. It's really, really good. And it's not what I expected. I thought this was going to be more of a quick, hack and slash kind of game. It's not really like that. It's not like, so on one extreme, I'd say you have like Dark Souls or something where it's, very methodical, particular, right? Swing the weapon kind of slower, right? And then you have something fast like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. I'd say this is right in the middle of those two, and it kind of combines them very well.
Okay.
There's a lot of deflecting. There's a lot of parrying.
Because I was expecting like fast and loose and like,
Yes. So it's not, to be fair, remember, I only played the first hour. And I started getting abilities that I could see that you can do some faster things, right? But overall, it first of all, you can die very easily. I died like 10 times to the boss of the demo. So just to give you an idea there. There's a lot of parrying going on, and there's cooldowns on abilities that you build up by parrying.
How's the timing of the parry? Like, is it like super like hardcore like Sekiro, or?
It's not super hardcore, but it's definitely hard. Okay. But already I unlocked an ability while I was playing the demo. I grinded for it that allows parry to be a little easiasier. So there's ways around it. Still not easy.
Well, let's say Rebirth, because we're playing that. You know how the parry works in there? Is it about like that?
I'd say it's close to that. Maybe even a little. I got used to it, but maybe I even had a little bit of a harder time at first trying to do it, and I'd always die. The enemies just around you are pretty tough at times. They can easily kill you if you're not careful. But it's not, I'd say if you have some skill in these kinds of games, it's not brutal to the point where it's not fun or something. I definitely enjoyed myself. Yeah, and even the story, very interesting. You have some other characters appear in there. It's very, very over the top. Like there's a lot of blood and gore and stuff, but man, it's
you're
fantastic.
you're actually interested in its like characters and story and lore and all that.
Yeah, so far I am. It's again, it's about an hour, and this is not spoiler. I think this is just like the synopsis of the beginning.
First of all, you can spoil the entire demo for all I care. Okay. It's a demo. It's an hour long.
Yeah, it's a demo. So you're playing as Eve, right? Who's the main character. There's this other girl. Her name is Taki or something like that. She's like your commander, and you guys are landing on Earth. It looks like at some point Earth was overtaken by these creatures. I forgot what they're called. It's like these alien life forms.
Yeah, they went into it in the last, I guess, state of play. I can't remember what that was.
Yes, I think they did. Yeah. And so you land on the planet. You have like some sort of mission. Again, it does give me a little bit of Nier vibes, right? You're trying to infiltrate. They've taken over the planet.
Yeah.
And then things quickly go downhill. Like the monsters start attacking. Your group that was supposed to be there is not there.
Are you human? Do you know?
From what I can tell, it seems like you're human and you have this suit that she activates. I think, at least. Yeah. It seems like you're human and you have some sort of suit that gives you abilities.
Okay.
And they're also skilled in, with weapons. But it goes down here quick. Like your captain dies and things go down. And you're trying to survive. You're trying to make it. And at the end of it is you fight this boss who, again, is pretty challenging. There's like environmental things you can use to help you fight the boss, the parrying, the abilities. When I was done with it, I got to say, I was like, wow, this is fantastic. Like, this is really, really impressive, you know? And I haven't had that feeling in a long time. There's been plenty of demos I've played where I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the release. But this one is probably one of the top ones I'm most excited for. So,
okay.
Yeah, definitely give it a shot. See what you think, man. But I'm pumped. I can't wait for it to come out.
No, I did play a demo. I played that Unicorn Overlord because I'm so interested in that. But all I did, more than anything, I actually kind of don't want to like play it until I actually start playing it. I was questioning on previous episode on, okay, what do I play it on? And what are like the pros and cons of this and that? So I literally installed it on my Xbox, my PlayStation, my Switch. And I basically was trying to see if there was any differences between the three and like graphical thing. None. It all looks exactly the same, even Switch.
So I go Switch then.
So I'm assuming, obviously, you know, you're playing 4K instead of 1080 on Switch, but I'm telling you, like, frame rate, the way it all looks and runs identically as far as I can tell. And I was trying to be as picky as I possibly could. Trying to like get real close to the screen even and try to see if one looked a little worse than the other. And, you know, like, okay, 557 Rebirth, for example, it looks fine to me when I play in the performance mode because my couch, I feel, is pretty far from the TV. And so it doesn't look as blurry as if I was like sitting right in front of the television. I'm like, oh, I start to notice it looks a little more blurry here. But regardless of the distance, it all looked fantastic. So I'm just going to play it on Switch. So I did make that declaration. But I am curious, like, should I play the demo? Does it roll into it? I still don't know. If the demo rolls into the game, I'll go ahead and, I guess, play the demo. Otherwise, I'm just going to start it and not even worry about it. Because I'm sold on it. I mean, any game they've made is great.
Yeah, they make good games.
And what I played, I could just tell it's top quality. I played like 30 minutes just to like see what it looks like, see if it's something I would like or not. And I'm like, yeah. I would totally dig this. The game is definitely think Final Fantasy 12. It's not like it. It's just the mindset is like it, to where you are pre-configuring a lot of things to what the characters are going to do, and then it just kind of takes shape as you play, right? And as long as you keep that in mind, it's not like it plays itself. There's tons of strategies involved with so much. It's just the literal battle taking place between the characters are going to happen automatically based on what you set prior. And to be honest, 12 does the same thing. Like
12 does the same thing, yeah.
You're setting all these different gambits of like, okay, well, if this character's 40% health or less, heal them. If this character has 80% or more MP, go ahead and feel free to use your magic, stuff like that. So I have all these like rules and sets, and just kind of see it in that vein of like Final Fantasy 12 is a good, if anyone has played that, you know, that's a good way to think about this game. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Anyway,
that's good to know. I definitely want to eventually get to that one. Now is just not the right time for it.
Because I want a really like tactics Switch game. You know, like that'd be perfect pocket for that, and so I'm excited on that level. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna play the Stellar Blade demo. I'm extremely interested. I just haven't had the time. To see everything. And then
It's fantastic, man. I already see all the videos of her climbing the ladder and people zooming in on her. Dude, but again, it's gonna be another case of some people viewing that game and thinking it's just like eye candy when there's so much more to it. Yeah, is that an added bonus? Of course. But man, it's a really well-made game. I've never even heard of this company, by the way. Do we know any of these people?
See, that's what's most impressive is this is a new development team, and this is like looks to be their first game, as far as I'm aware. Now, I have seen that there's different people on this team who have worked on Nier. I do know that.
That's okay. That's what I was wondering, because I swear there's some influence.
But I don't think like the team as a whole have actually like done anything prior. But only supported this and supported that, is to my knowledge. But
oh, wow, I didn't realize this. 2 years ago, it was called Project Eve. I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, I do. Everyone look up Project Eve. The very moment you see any images or video, you'll remember this.
Yeah, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So cool. But I'm trying to see if it says anything
Who's
about
the
what you
development
mentioned.
team?
Shift Up. It was supposed to come out in 2023, by the way, and then it got delayed. I didn't realize that either. Games developed, just Stellar Blade. Okay.
Shift Up is a South Korean game developer and publisher. It was founded in December 2013. Their purpose was to create AAA games, and
Okay.
yeah, this is their first ordeal here. Okay, so they have a mobile game that they made in 2016 called Destiny Child. Other than that, they've just helped support on this or that. So
Okay.
this is their
Gotcha.
first like big foray here, and I mean, it's I'm guessing
Is
super solid. So cool.
is the game called Nikki or something like that? That's what I'm seeing.
So in
What is their mobile
April
game called?
2019, Shift Up announced 2 new projects: a new mobile title called Project Nikki, and then
Okay.
and then Project Eve. Now, I guess this Nikki has yet to release,
Huh. Because I'm seeing people talking about it here 1 month ago,
unless it
but
just released. Let me see.
hmm.
I'm looking now. Okay, it's a mobile game. That's why it's on. Yeah, I see it right here on iOS. Yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's sitting at a 4.7 out of
Okay.
5, so it must be
Well,
good.
hey, I'm glad they moved to AAA games on console and this game on PC, man, can you imagine? God,
Oh wait, is this game releasing on PC or no?
no,
Okay,
nope,
okay,
just PS5. The game feels great. It seems like they really prioritize the frame rate and the gameplay, which I'm super happy about. It feels
cool.
awesome. Not one dip, perfect
Okay.
gameplay. So, and it looks great too, by the way. So yeah, I'm super pumped for this game. Can't wait. So
All right. Well, let's hear Rebirth. I mean,
yes. So I've been putting in some serious work into Final Fantasy over the last let's say 2 weeks.
well, where are you at
Um,
first?
so first of all, I'm about 40 hours in now, and I'm pretty much have done everything you can do at the Gold Saucer, and then I went to the prison, the Dust Bowl prison area,
Okay.
and I'm feeding the chocobo that's injured over there. That's where I'm
Okay.
at right now.
Okay.
So
So you're about to that has a pretty cool like ending to that area. I really like. So
okay, okay, I'm obsessed with doing everything.
that's what I was gonna ask.
I'm
Is
still have been
yeah.
doing
Okay.
everything. Only thing I haven't done yet is in Corel. I couldn't do everything because it just didn't allow me to yet. I had to go to the Gold Saucer and
Now
do all
in
this
the
stuff.
coral region and the next region, I think Konganga region is what it's called. Either one. Those are the only 2 areas I didn't do everything in. I've done
Okay.
everything in the other regions. But since
Okay.
it's like deserty and stuff, I didn't feel
Mhm.
incredibly motivated. I didn't think it was as
Sure.
cool as the other
Sure.
areas.
That makes
Um,
sense.
but yeah, for all I know, maybe there is stuff I missed that is totally awesome, and I should. I mean, I first of all, I'm sure I'm gonna actually 100% this game by
Oh,
the
I'm
end of it,
sure.
regardless. Anyway, there's no way I'm gonna walk away from this and just never go and actually finish everything I could.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's the only areas because I don't know. It's just big desert area. It's not nearly as appealing as the others.
Sure. Sure. No, that makes sense. What I have to say? I will say I'm pretty far into the game, and even chapter wise, a decent amount into the game. I feel like I feel like if I wasn't doing all this extra stuff, I would be flying through this game because I feel like I haven't seen that much story, to be honest. And I've played for this long, but that's of course, I'm the one who's doing that, which is fine. But man, what do I say? Queen's Blood is so much fun now. I feel like I've gotten very, very good at this game. I've done all the challenges, the gold saucer ones.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been really fun. All those games. When I got to Gold Saucer, I was like, "This is awesome! Like, this feels so cool. This feels like what I thought in my head when I was at Gold Saucer when I was a kid playing the PlayStation version."
When you first
like,
arrive there, and there's the whole bit
so
of
cool.
like the dance scene that takes place, and then you fighting that guy Don.
Oh my god! Yeah,
what's his
yeah.
name? Is his name
Don
Don?
something. I forgot. It's something
I
like
don't
that.
know.
But yeah, that was really funny. Doing the G bike thing, the fighting.
Yeah, I
the
did
arena.
everything I could do in Gold Saucer just because I wanted to. Of course, I'm like,
Yeah,
nah, I gotta
same
see
here.
everything.
and I want to buy all the stuff too. So I got to see how many GP points I have by then. So I'm loving it, man. I'm so addicted to this game. I think it's so much fun. I've been, messing with.
Yeah, you're about to do the Chocobo race because the whole deal with the prison bit is so then you can become like a champion Chocobo dude and then go back up to Gold Saucer and do the race. So
and pay the dude money to get the others out. Yeah. No, I just think it's so much fun, man. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like the materia that my people have equipped, I've thought about it a bit and put it on. I haven't sat down and I could really get in the weeds with that if I want, but I'm okay with it now. It's not hurting me how it is.
Yeah, I've talked to other people and they've explained what they do with their material, and they're on some whole other level that I am not messing with. I'm there with you to where I have good stuff and I like what I have and I do spend time in it and all, but I'm not trying to make some
I'm not getting so
weird concoction of I don't know. My friend was telling me he has this bit to where he's mixing 3 or 4 different materia to where he could basically just kind of hold a button down and everyone's just chained all at once, and his ATB just feels super fast, and he has he's able to just do insane massive infinite damage and all these weird builds and stuff, and I'm not taking it that far.
Yeah,
and I kind of don't want to. I don't want to walk around broken.
No, I like it how it is. It's a challenge. It's fun. Yeah. The one thing I will say is I discovered recently when I was in the Gold Saucer and I could only use Cloud and Red 13 to do those fights. There was one fight that was level 39 and I was only level 31 at the time or something.
Dang,
so I was
oof.
I really don't want to move on, but I really want to try this. So I tried it a few times. I kept dying as Cloud quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me try Red 13. And I found that Red 13, after I equipped a few things on him, it's he's nuts. He's freaking crazy. I put when he blocks, he gets health. When he does his vengeance mode, he gets health. Yeah. When he does his limit break, he gets health and MP. And his limit break generates so quickly. So all those things together, I was wiping these guys out. I do I'd stagger a few of them, then I do the starry.
And staggering's really easy because you can spin and it.
Yeah. And then when I got to the next fight, it was that Quetzalcoatl guy, and he was really tough. But with Red 13, slowly but surely, I got him down and killed him. I was holy crap.
I would say Red 13 and Barrett are really good characters if you spend the time to figure them out. They can do some massive damage and really
totally agree.
Mix things up well.
And actually, I've learned that Aerith is actually much better than I thought too.
Aerith is really hard to play as, but if you know how to, you can really take her far. Yeah,
dude. Now, I used to hate how Aerith would be hit you, hit you, real slow. I really didn't like that. And then you'd hold it. But then when I do the Radiant Dawn or Radiant Ward or something like that, I think it's Radiant Ward, she shoots it, boom, 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 boom. She does these lasers at them. So much better.
I have this weird, I guess you could say, build with her to where I shoot multiple out at once, and what they do is they basically get kind of knocked into the air and start floating and continuously getting hit.
Okay.
And so they basically stunned in the air, and I just keep spamming hit, and they can just kind of you can combo them super easily.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
She's I'll do that Radiant Ward, and then I'll do the one where if they get in it, it freezes them, it makes them invincible, and then I'll put the Lustrous Shield up, the flower one, and then all 3 of those together, I'll just sit there, boom, 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 boom.
Now really I'm gonna sound like an idiot here, but I don't understand. I understand the effects of a ward, you can lay down a ward and get whatever effects up in that space, but I still don't understand how to teleport across while you're battling.
Okay, so
I don't understand that.
I figured this out. It's basically her, whatever the name of the button, the move is that is on triangle. Forgot what it's called. I really can't remember what it's called. But anyway, I just figured out that I did it by mistake one time, and it just teleports you right back to your ward. That's all it does.
So you hit triangle, and it spawns the ward. Then you run elsewhere, hit triangle, and you teleport back.
No, as far as I understand, it doesn't spawn any ward. It just teleports you to any current ward that you have up.
How do you place the ward?
You place your ward from your ability, and then that will bring you to that ward that you place down with your ability. You know what I mean?
You place the ward, and then you can just kind of walk elsewhere, continue on the battle, and then at any point warp back to your ward.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Okay.
And I didn't know that for the longest time, by the way. But also, I wonder, why do I even have to get out of my ward? Like, unless I get knocked out of it, I guess. But otherwise, what's the point of me leaving? I can shoot from afar, right? So,
Well, the point is, if like your aggro, the monster is targeting you and hitting you a bunch, and you
yeah.
have a ward somewhere else, you can teleport back and be able to like get away from them.
Yeah,
easier.
yeah.
I guess
That
that's
makes
the
sense.
point. But
yeah, but that's another thing that I didn't have any idea about.
yeah,
until...
she's very like defensive and then magic. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, man, I'm
Tifa,
really enjoying it,
I've been super whatever on this whole game until very recently.
Okay.
I finally I'm like, all right, let me try to wrap my mind around playing as Tifa. And now I get it. What it is okay, it's exactly what you would expect, but far more extreme than you would imagine. So very fast, right? Run up, do a ton of damage, punch really, really quick. But the problem was like, well, I don't want to be so close to the monster at all times because I'm constantly getting hit. Well, I'm realizing when you dodge, her dodge is fantastic and she's super fast. So all you have to do is constantly just kind of stay behind the monster. And then anytime the monster kind of tilt towards you a little, just like dodge and then stay behind the monster. And then it's so easy to dodge moves with Tifa and then just keep welling away at them. So anytime they attack, just dodge it and then just keep attacking. Anytime they attack, dodge, keep attacking. And it's very like super fast, dodge, attack, dodge, attack, dodge, attack. That's kind of like how she plays.
Okay.
And so you're supposed to get right up in their grill. As long as you dodge everything they throw at you, which you totally can, because their dodge is so much faster than anybody else's. The very moment you hit it, it's immediate. So as long as you can time the dodges right, you can constantly be up in their face and pretty much dodge everything. So I've used that to my advantage of like summons that I could not beat in like the VR thing. If I use Tifa, now I'm able to because I can dodge all of these crazy ass moves they're pulling off.
Okay. That's pretty awesome.
And Tifa's going to keep the aggro on her because she actually does output a ton of damage, but you just have to be really good at dodging. So they're going to constantly be aggroed on you. You're going to constantly be putting a ton of damage. You can easily avoid any attack with the dodge. So once you play in that camp, it's really fun. So
okay, very cool. Yeah, man, I gotta say, I went. That's how you could tell I like this game. I just started going crazy. A few weeks ago, I was at like 10 hours or something. All of a sudden, the last week and a half, I'm up to 40. So, yeah, I'm just really enjoying it, man. I love that I can play the story bits, be really into it, and then I can do exploring the world, getting intel, playing Queen's Blood, and like listen to a podcast or something. I love that the game lets me do both.
Now, the highs and lows of the story follow exactly the beats of like the original game. Now, different things may take place in that moment, right? Some not at all, some greatly, but I'm so familiar with the game, I'm expecting, because in the original game, even during the point that you're at, nothing too insane really happened so far, even in the original game, right? Like, all the stuff that you've seen take place, the same stuff sort of happens in the original game. So just keep that in mind. So, the Nibelheim stuff, whenever you actually, like go back to that area, pretty much from that point on is when things start getting a lot more serious and a lot more, like, heavy in I guess, story content. And up until then, like, you know, there's some cool, like, big story beats, but it's still sort of lighthearted for the most part, and until pretty much Nibelheim.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, man, pretty awesome. Really into it. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep trucking along. Hopefully, I can have it done before Stellar Blade comes out. I think I should be able to.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't know. Everything I think is fantastic. Like, I mean, it looks beautiful. Runs great, combat's super great. Every story moment that has take place, I'm really interested. I'm trying to think of anything I could really say bad about it. I guess if you're like in a super obsessed over trying to do everything, but let's say you didn't enjoy doing it, then I could see this game being sour. But I don't know. Like I'm enjoying doing everything that I'm choosing to do. I've never once, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. It's pretty much as simple as that. I have the control. I just want to do it. I mean, like I said, there was 2 areas where I skipped because I didn't want to, and okay, cool. And it just kept going. So I don't know. I I could imagine some people complaining about like the blow, but it's not forced upon you. And even the side quests, like all the green ones, every time it's totally been worth doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm actually really happy to. The only thing that I think is kind of pointless is the snaps dude. He's just so random.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
But the further you get into it, the locations the game's purposely trying to bring you to really cool locations, right? It's kind of the point. And so like as you go, I think you should check them all out just because it gets you to where you wouldn't normally go just to check out a cool little area that they made. Is kind of the point there. So it's more of just like, hey, if you want to check out some really cool environments, do these photo things. You know, it's so. But if you're not interested in checking out some neat environmental things, then I guess just skip out on it. But that's the thing, is it's so incredibly optional with all of that stuff, to where it doesn't even slightly feel like you need to do any of it. It definitely doesn't. It doesn't press you to do anything. To be honest, I don't like very, very free, and like whatever you want to do, like have reins. Like, I don't know, if you really want to mainline it, you're still going to have a great time with this game. You're never going to be forced to do something you don't want to do, or is boring to you or anything like that. Like in the original game, there was definitely, like with Final Fantasy VII Remake, when you're in Midgard, there's definitely spots in that to where you have to go through something that drags a bit too long.
Gotcha.
And this game, I have yet to have a moment that felt like it dragged on too long and I had to do it.
No, yeah, I agree. I
feel pacing has been great.
The pacing's great, yeah. And if you ever get tired of doing all the side stuff, just go on with the story. You know, no one's forcing you. For me personally, I have no problem doing everything I'm doing. I think it's fun.
Me too. Actually,
and I feel like I've gotten so good at Queen's Blood. Like I want them to release that as its own game now.
I get hyped when I go to a new area and there's like 2 or 3 people to play. I'm like, that's the first thing I'm doing when I show up in a new area.
And for a little while, I understood it, but I still have things that I didn't get. But now I really get all of it.
Man, it's hard though, dude. I feel like I understand. I feel like I don't understand it all the way to like 100%. There's some things I don't quite get, but regardless, I get it. I feel I get it, but I'm still having a very difficult time with, like, I don't know. Every new battle's harder than the last, and I think I've done 20 battles now. And man, is it incredibly difficult. Have you gotten to a point to where you're starting to see the story bits along with it? Have you gotten a single cutscene of like...
Oh, let me think. No, I only got one for Fort Condor stuff.
I mean, I mentioned it last week, but it's fine. Yeah. Of just in the sense of there's a story based around the creator of the game that it feeds you. And you'll get like little hints, and then it kind of gets bigger and bigger as you go. But I don't know how much you've seen or not seen. So anyway,
yep. I'm looking forward to seeing what they
even the side content of there'll be like these. Oh, I know what it is. The proto relics. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
you get these little like, I don't know, silver pieces or something.
Well, in Fort Condor, we were chasing the dude all the way through for that.
Yeah. So it keeps going, and even I just got another piece, and it starts to bleed into a whole bigger grand story thing. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but it looks to be like you're actually like may teleport to another dimension at some point and fight some like legendary Final Fantasy things that I'm not going to mention.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't know. So
that's exciting, man. I'm looking forward to continuing just learning more.
So you would never. That's the thing is like, if you don't go down that path and fight all of these things, you'll never know it leads to such a thing. Yeah. So I really feel all this stuff is worth it. I don't know.
That's kind of what my experience was. The further I got in Final Fantasy 16 as well, where I started doing these side quests that brought me to things that I was like, wow, I would have never known or discovered this at all, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that they're getting pretty good at that. So yeah, good to see. But yeah, man, that's That's all I got on Final Fantasy for now, but I'm absolutely loving it. So
Yeah. I mean, it'd be real. I'd be really, really, really shocked if the game comes out this year that somehow is better than this. Because my biggest shock of everything else, and then we'll move on, is just I don't understand not just the amount of content, but the amount of huge, incredible content of like how do they fit all of these different areas and cities and stories and stuff all in the wall. I've never seen a game with these many, like, okay, you go to a new town and it's almost like you're in a different country, and just an environment changing that much, or like personalities change that much, or the insane amount of different personalities that you come across. Like, I'm in the point now to where like I'm actually like meeting with Vincent and stuff like that, and I'm just like, man, it's getting so good. But I'm so shocked on there's a whole like Shinra Mansion bit. There's a like that feels like it's its own game, right? There's a whole like every if I think back on other video games, they all still like beginning to end kind of feel like you're in the same era. If it does change, you know, like it still relatively feels the same. The amount of like different feeling things that you come across and how drastic like when you're in that desert bit and all the stuff that takes place in that almost feels like if you were to take that out of this game and then just make it okay, it'd be a 15-hour game and from beginning to end, and it could be its own thing, and then you could release another segment, and you could almost like they could almost be released as like chapters of completely different things happening, and you could see them releasing such a title. Because literally any other game, even other Final Fantasy games or something, I can't think of like a game that changes up as much as this title does, of just the beats. I'm trying to think of just, okay, I don't know, Doom, right? You're playing Doom pretty much beginning to end. That, yeah, you may change slight environments here or there, but not really. It still feels like it's the same thing. With this, it's like the whole journey of the minecart stuff, or like that you went down, or the whole like flashback stuff with Sephiroth, or the Golden Saucer stuff. They feel like completely different, like grand experiences, all inside of like one big title. It's so weird.
They've done such a good job with it, man.
Like just another RPG. Like, I mean, okay, let's say Witcher 3. I mean, even when you get out of that beginning area and go to other stuff, it still overall feels like you're in the, like, it's still just similar kind of trees, similar kind of buildings. You know, like the stories are awesome, and the side quests and take you down completely different, like really interesting story paths and stuff. But it still overall feels like the same environment and feeling and area. Like when you're in the grasslands compared to when you're like in another area in Final Fantasy, it's not just the areas are different. Like so many like games inside of a game, or segments inside of like.
They've done a great job of doing that, where they insert, like, I have gotten to new areas or new places, and then all of a sudden I'm there for 45 minutes when I didn't have to be, because I'm doing something totally that I did not expect to do at all. So like when I got to the Gold Saucer, I expected to do a few things, but I did not expect what I had to do. And then from there to be transported to another area doing something completely different. Or even the Fort Condor stuff is another good example.
I mean, I'm a Google like top RPGs because it's really hard to like wrap my mind. Okay, like Skyrim. The whole time you're playing that, I mean, it all feels pretty similar. I mean, not, you know what I mean, and just the way that like Skyrim's not throwing a gold saucer at you. Skyrim's not throwing like Cyberpunk. It's still overall, you know, it's all takes place in that city. Same kind of vibe all throughout. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, you're going to different planets, and you can get quite different feelings from there, but the gameplay is still relatively the same, and you're still kind of doing the same stuff. I don't know, with Rebirth, I feel like I'm constantly doing something I've never seen before or have done before. I'd say even Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, it still takes place pretty much just in an overall area that's still connected and kind of similar. Bloodborne pretty similar throughout. I'm really trying to wrap my mind and looking at all these different RPGs. Elden Ring, I mean, you go to different points on the map, but that has a huge shift between when you actually get into like the underground and it feeling like a whole different game. That had a big moment like that. So that's kind of how I'm saying with Rebirth is like you get such a huge shift.
Yeah.
Of like,
yeah, no, they handle it very well.
So I would say Elden Ring does that with the underground and above ground on that level. Outside of that, I really can't. I'm looking through all of these games, and that's the only thing I can really say that like, okay, I guess that game does what I'm trying to say here. We'll move on. First story here, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gets a 4-part series detailing its creation. If you are curious to learn more about how it came to be, Sony and Square Enix have released a new making of series called Inside Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The 4-part series features interviews with 30 of the game's lead designers, such as the director, the creative director, and producer, who discuss how Square brought Rebirth to life. I will say another thing with Rebirth is Final Fantasy VII Remake just takes place in Midgard, right? And it's really just the first like 10 hours of the game that kind of blow it up to 40. But it didn't actually really feel like you were playing Final Fantasy VII because it's just one city and one little
It's
second.
just one city, yeah. Yeah, no, they addressed so many of the little things that I thought could have been improved about Remake. They totally took all of that and made it way better. So
in this video series, each episode tackles different aspects of Rebirth. Episode 1 focuses on world building. Episode 2 covers the stories and cutscenes. Episode 3 is all about the characters and combat. And episode 4 tackles the English voice actors. Each episode runs between 15 to 18 minutes.
It's awesome.
And I'm definitely going to check this out.
Oh, yeah, same here.
I was thinking, well, maybe when I like beat it or something like that, but there's no point. I doubt there's like spoiler stuff in this. It's just,
I mean, I would be surprised if they did, but
yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. All right. Next up, Take-Two purchases Gearbox Entertainment from Embracer for $460 million. Embracer Group has divested Gearbox Entertainment from its stable of video game studios, with Take-Two Interactive purchasing the company for $460 million. The sale is also part of Embracer's massive ongoing restructuring designed to cut costs after a planned $2 billion deal with Saudi Arabia-backed Savvy Games Group fell through in 2023. The sale comes 3 years after Embracer acquired Gearbox for $1.3 billion in 2021. This move means Embracer no longer owns Gearbox development entities such as Gearbox Software, Gearbox Montreal, and Gearbox Studio Quebec, nor franchises such as Borderlands, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Homeworld, Risk of Rain, Brothers in Arms, and Duke Nukem. We need a new Duke Nukem game, man.
Yeah.
These assets will be acquired by Take-Two, which owns Rockstar Games and 2K, among other labels. Closing the transaction is expected to take place in fiscal year Q1 2024 to 2025, pending customary regulatory approvals. In a press release from Take-Two, Gearbox confirms it has 6 titles in the works. 5 are sequels, and 2 of the sequels are from Borderlands and Homeworld franchises. It also has
5 Borderlands games?
Jesus Christ. No, wait. 2 of those sequels are from Borderlands.
Okay.
How about to say, and Homeworld franchises. It also has an announced new IP in development. However, Embracer does retain other branches subsidiaries of Gearbox. That includes Gearbox Publishing San Francisco, which has publishing rights to the Remnant franchise, Hyper Light Breaker, and other upcoming announced titles. Additionally, Embracer is keeping Cryptic Studios, who they made Neverwinter Online, Star Trek Online. They're keeping Lost Boys Interactive and Captured Dimensions. According to the press release, these companies will be welcomed and integrated into other parts of Embracer Group in the coming period. Dude, Take-Two having Duke Nukem, come on, man. It's time. It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
Now,
come on.
Yes, I think they're in much better hands with Take-Two.
I agree.
So
totally agree with that.
I like Borderlands. I'm not like, I don't know, super ultra fan or anything, but I like the first one quite a lot. Second one came out, I dug it as well. We eventually got kind of tired of it. 3 I played like a little, not a lot, and just kind of over it at this point, but it needs fresh hands on it, and I don't know, I think it could do wonders with Take-Two. So
I agree. Let's see what they do with it. Embracer, just I don't know what the heck they've done. So just completely fumbled everything. So
bought a bunch of stuff, and then now they're selling all that stuff. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But It is what it is. Marvel Rivals is a team-based hero shooter from NetEase Games, and I pulled this from Brian Shea over at Game Informer. So the Marvel universe is expansive and chock full of some of the pop culture's greatest heroes. NetEase Games has taken the word hero literally and placing the characters from Marvel in a free-to-play 6v6 oh my god 6v6 hero shooter. Marvel Rivals promises to bring the most popular and iconic superheroes and supervillains to the arena with destructible environments, unique team-up skills, and more. Marvel Rivals offers 6v6 PvP action featuring arenas from across the Marvel multiverse, including Asgard and Tokyo 2099. The title touts a deep roster of heroes and villains to choose from, including members of the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men, and more, all with unique team-up skills that play off various synergies between heroes. The closed alpha in May will feature more than a dozen characters, while the announced trailer features 18 characters that represent the current roster. The roster so far, in case you find yourself scrubbing through the footage and the reveal trailer to see how many characters you could spot, we listed all 18 of the characters down below here. Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Groot, Hulk, Iron Man, Loki, Luna Snow, Magic with a K, Magneto, Mantis, Namor, Penny Parker. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Peter Parker, but Penny Parker? I don't. Penny Parker? No, it's got to be someone different. I've never heard of Penny Parker. Now I want
Penny
to know.
Parker. Yeah, I don't know
who's Penny Parker. Okay, it's a character. Penny Parker is a superhero appearing in a Marvel comic. Huh. It was created by Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance.
Oh.
But it's a Marvel character. She is an alternative version of Spider-Man from the Evangelion-inspired universe. Do they have an Evangelion-inspired universe? Evangelion's like the robot anime.
That's the anime, yeah.
It's like, what is it? Dude, I'm so lost on so much of Marvel, but whatever. All right. Penny Parker's a thing. Okay. The Punisher, Rocket Raccoon, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Storm, Star-Lord. If your favorite Marvel hero or villain isn't on the initial roster, NetEase promises a robust post-launch roadmap. According to the company, each seasonal drop will introduce new playable characters and maps. Marvel Rivals is one of the most ambitious projects, head of Marvel Games says in a press release. Since the conceptualization of the game and throughout our collaboration, our Marvel team has poured our hearts and souls into this project, and we are thrilled to work with an incredible team at NetEase Games to help deliver the ultimate superhero team-based PvP shooter. The story of Marvel Rivals features Doctor Doom and his 2099 counterpart forcing universes to collide in the time shrink entanglement, creating new worlds. Superheroes and supervillains from the multiverse must band together and fight other groups of multiversal characters to defeat the two Dooms and save the multiverse. NetEase Games touts his team members who worked on franchises like Battlefield and Call of Duty as being instrumental in the development of Marvel Rivals, but the studio operates with a global team of developers. Marvel Rivals is currently in development for PC with a closed alpha kicking off in May. To sign up for the upcoming test, you can visit marvelrivals.com. Now, I watched a video of this. I immediately rolled my eyes when I saw this story, and I'm like, who cares? I watched a video of it. It doesn't look bad. It looks good. Okay. Looks decent. Okay. But I still don't want to play it. It's still just like Overwatch looks better, and I'm not choosing to not even play Overwatch, so why would I play this? It's like, I don't know, like live service, hero shooters, anything like. We definitely got far too much, and it's been far too long of far too much, and they gotta realize people are just kind of over it at this point, and it keeps proving itself true. Every time there's a new game drop in this genre, it like makes a splash, even if it's millions of players.
Yeah.
A week or two later, it's nothing again. I mean, Marvel doesn't automatically mean now it's going to be a huge success for a long time. It's doesn't hold, not that it doesn't hold that power anymore. I don't know the word. Like, regardless of what it is, it could be the best thing ever of like everyone just loving. It doesn't matter anymore. We're so oversaturated that I don't know why people are choosing to create stuff like this, thinking somehow they're going to be the exception to the rule that we have seen this rule applied for years.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like it's almost just like a go-to thing. People still think like, oh, okay, well, this will definitely get up there. People will be interested in this, you know?
And maybe, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I guess it all depends on their expectations. If they're only expecting, okay, they get a huge pop-off at release of a few million players, and let's say 3 months later, they have an average player base of, let's say, 100,000 players. If that's their vision and are okay with those numbers, it's not bad numbers. You're still going to have 100,000 people constantly buying this or that, and you're still going to make some money. As long as that's what you're expecting, okay, cool. I think those are okay expectations to have. Now, if they're expecting 5 million plus players on a constant basis, then they got another thing coming, and it's not going to happen. Yeah. And then they're going to get shut down because their expectations are too high.
And then it's going to be the same story.
Yeah.
Game that just launched a year ago gets shut down.
Yeah.
Like, so oh, God.
They just, maybe if they can just actually get their expectations in check, maybe it won't be such a problem.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Next up, Larian CEO says the studio is done with Baldur's Gate 3 to focus on something new. As reported by PC Gamer, Larian CEO Sven Vink stated during an address at GDC today that the studio is finished with Baldur's Gate 3. That means it won't be getting any expansions, nor will it be making a Baldur's Gate 4. We're a company of big ideas. We are not a company that's made to create DLCs or expansions, Vink said. We tried that actually a few times. It failed every single time. It's not our thing. Life is too short. Our ambitions are very large. Not only that, but the studio is moving on from Dungeons & Dragons in general, with Vink saying that it's going to be up to Wizards of the Coast because it's their IP to find somebody to take over the torch. What's Wizards of the Coast?
I think the people who own Dungeons & Dragons.
Is that what it? Oh, that could be right. Let me see. Wizards of the Coast is a family of studios specializing in building role-playing trading card and digital games for all genres of players. Okay, that makes sense. Well, you know what? I can't hate on their message there. They made a game that they felt was a great game. They put it out. They want to move on to bigger things.
Drop hotness, move on.
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm about it. Scroll down a little bit and you see that thumbnail?
I saw this Hollow Knight, but I did not see it.
So all that happened here is that it randomly appeared, literally of all days, yesterday, April 1st. April Fool's Day. It drops on the store, and it's still currently there. You can't buy it. You can't do anything with it. But for some reason, it dropped onto the store. So I just had to include this because...
Yes.
And it's only the Xbox store.
Interesting.
So does that mean, like, maybe we're about to get a shadow drop? That's where my mind goes. My mind goes like maybe Xbox is going to have whatever event over the summer, right? That's where I'm going. And somewhere within this direct or whatever they call it, developer direct, I guess is what they're calling them now. This is like one of the announcements that they like shadow drop and then it goes live, right? That's my like best case scenario assumption out of this. Now, it could just be for some reason they just happened to put it on the store. Why? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. Why do that action?
And why do it on April Fool's?
And of all days, it's that day.
Well, but actually, they're saying well, technically for Team Cherry, it's already Tuesday the 2nd. I guess what are they, Australian?
Yeah, it's past that now and it's still up. So I don't think it's an April Fool's joke. I think they really are like screwing with some people hard here, and I don't know if that's
I don't know if that's
an okay thing to do. But
dude, I need this game in my life so badly. God,
hey, I would say it's a little weird, but I guess it's not because that is where it originally got like, I guess officially announced is with Xbox stuff. So maybe it's not that weird that it's on Xbox Store of all places.
Well, that's where it was like brought back to life.
Yeah,
like, they announced it on their own, and then 2 years later or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just a reminder, I believe Hollow Knight came out in, was it 2017?
You think maybe they're getting money from Microsoft?
Oh,
I
it's
don't
been
know.
7. No, yeah, it's been 7 years a month ago.
Dang.
So, God, I need this game so bad. And they were so generous with the DLC, and they made such good content. God, I can't wait, man. Cannot wait.
I mean, at this point, it just doesn't make any sense. Regardless of how high, like, okay, it far exceeded their expectations, and they had to put a lot more work into
But
it.
still.
Well, 7 years, all of that kind of goes out the window again. Of like, well,
Right.
what exactly are you doing?
Remember when we waited like 2 years for Elden Ring and it felt like an eternity, but here we are waiting 7 years for freaking Hollow Knight. God, but can't wait till it drops. So
yeah,
yep,
it's probably one of the weirdest little bits that we've had on the show of like, oh hey, there's a store listing that popped up, nothing else though, and it just happens to be a Hollow Knight Silksong. So there's that. All right, new game watch. We'll get out of here. Botany Manor, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, PC, April 9th. Children of the Sun, PC, April 9th. Gigantic Rampage Edition. This is the game I was talking about. It's dropping. I am definitely playing this when it drops, April 9th. I was really into this. I think it's great.
okay.
So, House Flipper 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, April 10th. Inkbound, PC, April 10th, and then Let's Revolution, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, April 11th. Now, that sounds like you don't quite understand the English language there, because Let's Revolution.
Let's Revolution. Let's.
I don't know. Let's have a revolution. Let's be a revolution. There needs to be some sort of like more verbiage going on there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might.
Well, I guess it's let's exclamation mark revolution exclamation mark. I think they're probably like foreign company and they just don't quite understand that they're making errors there. Is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would guess that's probably right.
All right, well, that'll do it for 142.
All right. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.